Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again. It is time for another episode of our Monday Night Wars What If series in TEW 2020. I, of course, am CR Daredevil, coming to you not at 100% today, as I am dealing with some extended tooth issues. Fantastic. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is we are here for another episode of Monday Nitro, happening in the second week of November of 1995, leaving us a total of 2 weeks away, right? Technically. Yeah, technically that. So I also am a little out of it today because of pain meds. 20 days away, that is, from World War III, where, of course, we're going to find out tonight what exactly will be happening at World War III, what sort of special stipulation will be happening at World War III. Of course, we also have some other crazy stuff happening tonight, including finding out if the world title match ends up happening between Ric Flair and Randy Savage at World War III. We'll find out tonight. We'll hear from Piper about that. We will hear about whether Vader is going to accept Sting's challenge, and so much more. So we will get into the action here as we start off in front of 2,227 people in the Georgia Mountain Center with Roddy Piper. He explains World War III and what is on the line. He says that after some decision process being made, he is going to announce it official that it will be Ric Flair in a rematch defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Savage at World War III. And this time he's going to make sure that the Horsemen don't interfere in that match, but he doesn't reveal how he's going to make sure of that yet. He hasn't revealed that yet. But he says that while that is huge news, everybody also wants to know about the huge news when it comes to World War III itself, the announced stipulation for World War III. So, Roddy Piper is gladly bringing to you the information that at World War III we will see the return of a WCW concept that happened only twice at this point in time. The Battle Bowl. That is right. We are bringing back the Battle Bowl, and that will be the World War III. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Battle Bowl, essentially, there is what they call the lethal lottery that happens, where random tag team matches get made. Sometimes people have to team with rivals. Sometimes they team with random people. And the winners of those tag team matches go on to the second phase of the Battle Bowl, which is the Battle Royal itself, with the winner of the Battle Royal obviously getting a prize. He says that this time around at World War III, there will be tag team matches happening, lethal lottery tag team matches will be happening, and they will be randomly determined the night of the show. So everybody under a WCW contract, well, every wrestler under a WCW contract has to show up for World War III, because you do not know if you're going to be working it or not, other than, people who aren't going to be in that. But everybody else, you don't know if you're going to be working it. You might be working it. Those matches happen. The winners of those matches move on to the Battle Royal. The winner of the Battle Royal then gets a shot at the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, not at a specific show. No. They get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship at any point over the next year that they choose. Now, it's not quite like Money in the Bank, for those of you who are familiar, for those of you who are thinking that. You can't cash in on that night. You have to give at least a week's notice. So, if somebody was to win that and then come out the next night on Nitro, they can't cash in on that night. But they can cash in for the following week of Nitro. And the same goes for anything else. So if you want to cash in on a pay-per-view, you can't if you want to be in the world title match at a pay-per-view, you can't cash in at the pay-per-view. You have to cash in on a Nitro before. But still, you get a world title match. You basically call your shot world title match. You get to call when you're going to have that shot at the world heavyweight title. And regardless of what's scheduled or what's about to happen, the wrestler gets added to it. So if let's say, for example, Flair and Savage was already booked, and the person who wins the World War III Battle Royal chooses to use their opportunity on the night that match is booked, then they will get a shot at the winner of that match. That means that the world champion might have to defend the title twice in the same night, back to back. So it's going to be interesting to see. It is going to be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, so that's the big news with World War III, is that it is the return of the Battle Bowl, and the winner gets a shot at the world title whenever they call their shot. So crazy news, and that could definitely end up making somebody's career. I mean, especially if they end up doing it after the world champion, they cash in and make it the world champion have to defend the title twice in the same night. Maybe they get the tired world champion and are able to pull off a surprise and shocking upset. You never know. But we move on from that to a match, a 71 rated match, holy cow, in which Barry Windham defeats Dick Slater in 8:32 by pinfall with a flying lariat. 71 rating, 58 from Dick Slater, 70 from Barry Windham. Got the crowd hot, all that stuff. Windham picking up a victory after his loss at Halloween Havoc in the tag team match. He gets a victory here. After the match, he gets jumped by Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader, who start attacking Barry Windham. Sting comes out and makes the save, and Piper comes out after Sting makes the save there, or at least he doesn't quite make the save, because obviously he's not. Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader are not being fought off that easily, but he's kind of helps even up the odds, so Bigelow and Vader decide to leave. And Piper comes out and says that at World War III, it will be official. It will be one-on-one Vader versus Sting. And the winner of that match will become the number one contender for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship at Starrcade. So, big announcement there, because, of course, Starrcade is basically the WCW's version of WrestleMania. So one of those two men are going to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at Starrcade. Who's it going to be? We're going to have to wait till World War III to find out. We move on from there to Eddie Guerrero cutting a quick promo. He expresses regret for not being able to capture the television championship at Halloween Havoc, but he says that he's not going to let that loss bring him down. He's not going to let that loss eat at him or anything like that. He's going to move on to bigger and better things. Maybe he'll work himself up to contention for the United States Championship. Maybe he'll work himself up to contention for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who's to know? I mean, for all we know, he might end up getting randomly selected in the Lethal Lottery and end up winning the Battle Bowl and getting a shot at the World Heavyweight title whenever he wants. So he's optimistic about the future. He's optimistic about his future in WCW and is not going to let the TV title loss bring him down. After that, we get another exceptional matchup. We just have exceptional matches left and right here tonight. As Dustin Rhodes defeats Paul Orndorff in 6:52 by pinfall to Bulldog after a distraction from Johnny B. Bad. Of course, Johnny B. Bad and Paul Orndorff still having their feud with each other after Orndorff won at Halloween Havoc. Bad came out and was just kind of dancing, all that stuff, and Orndorff got distracted, got caught with the Bulldog from Dustin Rhodes. 64 from Orndorff, 63 from Rhodes, 70 rating for the match itself. And we're going to have to see what happens with that heading forward. Clearly, the issues between Bad and Orndorff are not done yet. After that, we move on to the Blue Bloods being tracked down once again. Third time in a row at this point. tracked down and asked about their rematch with Harlem Heat. They immediately start saying no about it, but as they go to leave this time, they get confronted by Harlem Heat, who are just kind of standing there, staring them down over, and they kind of back off a little bit. And Sherry says that they've been ducking this idea of a rematch for weeks now. They had no problem allowing the Blue Bloods to earn their rematch, even after they lost a title match. So they should clearly be allowed to give the former champions a rematch. And the Blue Bloods say, yeah, in theory, that's how that works, but essentially, we are the champions and we get to decide how things go. And Sherry's like, okay, well, I'll just go talk to Roddy Piper about it. And he's like, and Regal's like, no, hold on there. Or, however he's saying it in his way anyway. He says that they'll do this for him. Next week on Nitro, it will be the Blue Bloods versus Harlem Heat in a non-title match. And Regal says that if Harlem Heat are able to defeat the Blue Bloods in this non-title matchup, then they will grant them a rematch for the tag team titles at World War III. If not, then that sucks for them. They got to go to the back of the line, essentially. Sherry's not too happy about it. Says starts to talk about how she's going to go talk to Piper about it anyway, but Booker and Stevie kind of stop her, and Booker's like, don't worry, we got don't worry, you're on, Regal. So next week on Nitro, it is going to be Harlem Heat versus the Blue Bloods in a non-title matchup. And if Harlem Heat wins, they get another shot, or they get a rematch for the World Tag Team titles. So we'll have to see how that plays out. After that, in our main event of the evening, an 82 rated matchup. Holy cow. I don't even know if VK Wall Street would have gotten an 82 even in his heyday in this game. But match that had superb wrestling, great heat. Steve Austin defeats VK Wall Street in 10:31 by pinfall with a stunner, making offense number 6 of the WCW United States Championship. 82 rating for the match, 79 from Austin, 50 from Wall Street. All of the good chemistry at the commentator's desk. During the match, Pillman was out on the stage kind of watching Austin. Austin got a little distracted by it, but didn't allow himself to get too distracted by it, and was able to come back and get the victory, making defense number 6 of his United States Championship. After the match, Austin gets jumped by the Four Horsemen. Savage and Malenko come running out to make the save, and Nitro ends with the faces standing tall. Of course, Savage and Flair has been announced for World War III, and Malenko has his issues with Benoit and the rest of the Horsemen, and obviously Austin has his issues with Pillman still, so there's that. Faces get to stand tall at the end of Nitro with a 77 rating for that segment there. And that is this week's episode of Nitro, which got us a 79 rating. Can't show you the pre-show stuff, so. But yeah, 79 rating, increased our popularity in 21 regions. Pretty big stuff. Pretty big show there. Hopefully you guys are all on board for the idea of bringing back the Battle Bowl. Of course, at this point in WCW, it had not been seen for 3 years, because the last time they did it at this point was in 92. Obviously, in real life, they did another one in 96 again, but this is, alternate universe. So that happened. And also, because I've been mentioning it for weeks, and I said I was going to show it, boom. The growth of WCW. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We have hit that time. We have hit medium size. Sorry, I had to switch it over so you guys don't see something there. But we have hit medium size. That means that we can run house shows now. That means that we can sign workers to exclusive ring deals. We're going to be hitting a new era in WCW for sure. Not necessarily, but we're going to be locking some people down to ring deals and, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be exciting. especially as we head into World War III, because that means attendances are going to be boosted and everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Definitely appreciate all the support you guys have for it. Definitely let me know what you think about Battle Bowl returning at World War III. Let me know what you think about the fact that we are going to get Flair and Savage once again, and what exactly does Piper have in mind to make sure that the Horsemen don't interfere in that match. And let me know what you think about everything else. But thank you for watching. CR Daredevil signing out once again and bidding you all adieu.